Breaking backstage news at this hour regarding WWE's Superstar Shakeup to take place on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. What are the list of names set to move? Where are they going? And why? All this, plus so much more on this extra edition of Off the Script.
Fill your glasses up and put your headphones in, because it's time for Off the Script. And all you fucking goons and assholes, get in line and hit subscribe, because it's time for Off the Script. Hit the like button and share it around. You can even pull your fucking pants down, because it's time for Off the Script with JD from New York 206, because it's time for Off the Script, because it's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, back at you with some extra Off the Script at this hour. Breaking news on new names set to move during Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live's roster shakeups. Something that WWE is calling its Superstar Shakeup. It's not a draft, but it will be trades conducted by Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle, both men respective GMs of their brands. If you guys missed part one of this weekend's Off the Script, where I go into detail and tell you and WWE how the roster shakeup should be done, I give you a list of names, plus I go over the entire roster after it's all done, with the women's, tag team, and main rosters all set up in my vision. If you guys want to go check that out, it is part one of this weekend's Off the Script episode 164. A great listen for sure, and a lot of you actually reached out to me and said that I did a fantastic job on it. Thank you guys so very much. I'm not going to take too much of your time here, being that I only have one piece of information, but it's big information regarding Monday and Tuesday's roster shakeups. Listen to this, as it's being reported by Wrestling News World and Richard Gray. Now, while most of WWE got to enjoy a much-needed day off with WrestleMania happening and all that, they got one day off, with the exception of NXT. WWE writers were back to the drawing board in regards to the Superstar Shakeup. Previously called a draft, Vince put the plan into motion with nothing concrete behind it on Monday afternoon. Typical Vince McMahon. These plans were put into motion with absolutely no thought process behind it. And then he wants to know why people aren't on board with what WWE is doing as far as storylines go, and why we always end up unhappy and just really feeling like garbage after we watch something that WWE has put on television, man. If there's no concrete, plans behind it, why are you going to come up with it and immediately put it on television? I mean, that's not the way I would conduct business, but this is the way Vince McMahon wants to conduct business, and this is why Monday Night Raw has been a failing brand, and you're not going to convince me otherwise at all. Monday Night Raw has been a failing brand for almost 4 years now. Ever since they went to 3 hours, has been nothing but a failing brand. Where do we stand as of now? Well, the Superstar Shakeup could happen not only on Raw, but it actually is going to be confirmed by WWE, a two-part event, and it will also take place on SmackDown Live. This is done because they believe it will help draw a continued audience from Raw to SmackDown, and it would spread the ratings between the both brands. At this point, however, it is something that they are still going back and forth on. This was actually reported by Richard Gray on April 7th. Okay, that was Friday. It's Saturday afternoon now. I read it somewhere, and I know I seen it, that this would be a 2-part event. If you guys know for sure, please leave me a comment down in the comment section. So, it's going to be a 2-part event. They want to help draw ratings for both brands. They want to help spread the audience between both of the brands and have the audiences from Raw watch SmackDown to see if their favorites from SmackDown actually end up on Raw. These are the current planned moves coming out of the meetings. Now, mind you, I gotta be perfectly honest with you. Don't take what I say here with any validity, please. I am reporting exclusive information that only Richard Gray has found out. Okay, you guys know for sure that Vince McMahon, I am 100% guaranteed, is going to be changing his mind back and forth by the hour of who goes where and what superstars are going to be traded or drafted or just, you know, sent to a different brand. Take everything with a grain of salt. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That just goes to show you that plans are constantly in motion when it comes to Vince McMahon. This is the current plan right now for members of both rosters to be switching. All right? Moving to Raw as of this hour, AJ Styles, The Miz, The Usos, Mojo Rawley, Bray Wyatt, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Dean Ambrose. Moving to SmackDown, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Gallows and Anderson, Charlotte, Sami Zayn, New Day, and a surprising one here, Braun Strowman, moving to SmackDown. Vastly different than what I came up with. There's a few names in there that I guessed correctly. Carmella, I would have go to Monday Night Raw. Alexa Bliss, I would have go to Monday Night Raw. Dean Ambrose, I had on my list going to Monday Night Raw. I would not take AJ Styles off of SmackDown. That's just me. I think that's a huge mistake. I honestly think, and I honestly believe, what WWE has done with the NXT call-ups, I honestly believe with the return of Finn Balor, that WWE does not need to make any drastic changes until they actually go back to the drawing board and give us a full-fledged draft, but this time, have it be completely thought out. This is something right now that, I'm going to be completely honest with you, is a ratings ploy. This is nothing but a ratings ploy because the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania did some of the worst numbers for a Raw after WrestleMania in previous years. You know, the audience was very low compared to previous years following WrestleMania. The build and the ratings leading up to WrestleMania have been absolutely fucking awful. So WWE, they figured, you know what could we do to generate interest in this product? And they did it with the draft last year. It was something that literally came out of the blue. Nothing was thought out. Everything just felt rushed. It felt, honestly, it felt naked. The draft felt underwhelming. And by the end of it, we were all fucking disappointed. Thankfully, SmackDown has been producing quality shows since the draft. I can't be saying the same thing about Monday Night Raw because they're Monday Night Raw. But it was done as a ratings ploy. This is the same vein. This is being done in the same vein. It is nothing but a ratings ploy. None of these top stars need to move anywhere. Okay? You're only going to piss people off by having AJ Styles go to Monday Night Raw. And then in the notes here, Gallows and Anderson moving over to SmackDown. So you're keeping Gallows and Anderson away from AJ Styles yet again, instead of possibly reuniting them and getting the band back together. AJ Styles does not need to go anywhere. I believe you need to keep AJ Styles on SmackDown because you just brought up Shinsuke Nakamura. You're going to piss more people off if you don't have both of them on the same show. You know? AJ is not going to be a number one on Monday Night Raw. Not with Roman Reigns there. Not with Finn Balor there. I don't believe he is. I could be proved wrong, but I know the way they're booking Roman Reigns right now, AJ Styles is not going to be in number 1. To me, moving AJ Styles to Monday Night Raw from SmackDown is actually giving him a demotion. He's going from number 1 on his brand to number 2 or possibly number 3. Because you know what WWE thinks about Finn Balor. I don't think it's a good idea. I honestly don't think it's a good idea. But you look at the makeup of both of these proposed new moves. I mean, SmackDown to me is getting a lot more than Monday Night Raw is. I mean, look at the quality of talent that's coming over. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Gallows and Anderson, Charlotte, Sami Zayn, New Day, and Braun Strowman. That's pretty much the heart of Monday Night Raw coming over to SmackDown. So if AJ Styles does move over to Monday Night Raw, I'm assuming WWE is loading up SmackDown because that's how much AJ Styles is worth. But would you trade AJ Styles or move AJ Styles to Monday Night Raw after what he's done for SmackDown? Would you move AJ Styles to Monday Night Raw after he's made such a valiant effort and continued effort into getting the WWE Championship back? Would you move AJ Styles to Monday Night Raw now that you just promoted Shinsuke Nakamura to SmackDown? I don't think those guys are worth AJ Styles moving to Monday Night Raw. I would take some of those names, but I wouldn't take Braun Strowman off Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't take Gallows and Anderson off Monday Night Raw. I wouldn't. I would keep them there. I would keep them there in a division that could finally be thriving, and they could reap the benefits of that. I would move the New Day. I would move Sammy. I would move Charlotte. You know? Seth Rollins, to me, is injured goods. Seth Rollins is damaged goods. You know, he isn't worth as much as he was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Not for an AJ Styles. Kevin Owens is great, but maybe we could eventually get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn battling over the WWE Championship. You know, there's a lot of disappointment, but there's also a lot of promise in both of these moves, in both of these new roster shakeups. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I would not move AJ Styles to Monday Night Raw. I just don't think it's going to benefit him in the way that, you know, WWE is thinking. I honestly think taking him away and moving him away from SmackDown with the promotion of Shinsuke Nakamura is going to anger a lot of people. And it's just one of those things that I knew WWE was going to do because, you know, why fuck the fans? But AJ isn't going to be a number 1 on Monday Night Raw. WWE's not going to book AJ as a number 1 on Monday Night Raw. Not with Roman Reigns there. You know, AJ needs a brand to be number 1 on. He's not going to be number 1 with Roman Reigns there. And we all know AJ is theoretically number 1, but he's not going to be pushed as such. It's a lose-lose situation here, you know? But whatever the case is, who is AJ going to feud with on Monday Night Raw if you're taking away all these guys? Owens is leaving, Rollins is leaving, Sammy is leaving, Braun Strowman's leaving. Who is AJ Styles going to feud with on Monday Night Raw? There's not going to be anybody left. Finn Balor? That's a great, intriguing matchup right there, but you know, that's one out of an entire roster for 3 hours every week. Roman Reigns again? We've seen it. And do you think the outcome's going to be any different than it was last time? Of course not. Brock Lesnar, I reported on Off the Script that WWE's current plans right now could be Strowman and Lesnar, but if the fans shit on that aspect, or if they pretty much shoot themselves in the foot, they might go with AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar. But would you rather see that over a Styles versus Nakamura and Styles be the king of his brand? I don't know, man. I'm not liking any of these moves right now. But the way the makeup looks, SmackDown's getting a steal here. And SmackDown would certainly be replenished. Now, my thought process is WWE should concentrate on the tag team and the women's divisions here. They're only moving Gallows and Anderson and the New Day. So, I don't understand that. You're taking 2 teams from Raw, which right now should be your main priority. You're taking 2 teams from Raw here, and you're moving them to SmackDown. Theoretically making SmackDown's tag team division much stronger. And after Monday Night Raw showed you, well, their tag team division's pretty fucking good right now, with the inclusion of the Hardys and the promotion of the Revival, you're automatically bringing back that entire tag team division to square one by taking away 2 teams and not adding any teams but the Usos. I don't think Gallows and Anderson in a New Day for the Usos is a fair deal whatsoever. This roster shakeup or superstar shakeup should concentrate on the women's divisions, the tag team divisions, and the guys that you are not utilizing correctly that you could potentially make into the next big thing. This is why I had Bo Dallas moving, possibly drawing the Wyatt family. You're going to take Bray Wyatt away from the Wyatt family? How is Eric Rowan going to survive on SmackDown by himself? It's not going to happen. You know, Luke Harper, yes, but Eric Rowan? No. I don't understand that. I would keep Bray on SmackDown. That's why I had Bo Dallas going to SmackDown with a possible inclusion in the Wyatt family. Curtis Axel to SmackDown. Get rid of that fucking stigma that he's a jobber. Put him in the mid-card, you know? Have Tyler Breeze and Fandango finally break away from this stigma that they're nothing but a comedy act. Those are two quality wrestlers that you guys need to be utilizing. I understand the move for Alexa Bliss to Raw. She's done everything on SmackDown. Charlotte, the same thing. She's done everything on Monday Night Raw. Get her away from Sasha. The matchups that we could see with Charlotte and Becky, Charlotte and Nikki, Charlotte and Natalya, Charlotte and Mickey, Alexa versus Sasha, Alexa versus Bayley. Those are intriguing matchups. Carmella could be paired back with Enzo and Cass. Get rid of that stigma that is James Ellsworthless. You know, a lot of these moves. Why would you take The Miz from SmackDown? Is he going to be allowed that freedom? Are they going to book him correctly on Monday Night Raw? Is he going to go back to being The Miz that we don't care about after working his ass off to becoming the best heel in the WWE? And I forgot Samoa Joe. I'm pretty sure you guys were thinking, well, AJ Styles can feud with Samoa Joe. AJ Styles could possibly feud with Kurt Angle. Those are ideas, but again, you know, I would rather have AJ stay on SmackDown where I know he is going to be treated as a number one. He's not going to be treated as a number one on Monday Night Raw with Roman Reigns being there. That's just me. I had my notes here. Let me see. Who else did I have? I had Kalisto going to Raw. You're not utilizing him on SmackDown. You're not utilizing him at all on SmackDown. At that way, or in that way, you could probably put him on 205 Live. You could even put him back with Sin Cara and have another tag team, which you are in desperate need of. You know, I had Ambrose moving. Apollo Crews I had moving. He'd be a good mid-card act. Possibly for a U.S. title run on Monday Night Raw. Utilize these guys. I had Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Sami Zayn, Sheamus, Cesaro, Charlotte, and Summer Rae going to SmackDown. Those were my moves. I feel like WWE really isn't doing much of anything here with these moves. This is the plan right now for this roster shakeup. Now, this is where it gets tricky for Vince McMahon. You know, he wants to send Kofi and Xavier to SmackDown. He wants to send Kofi and Xavier Woods to SmackDown, keeping the New Day gimmick. But he wants to keep Big E on Monday Night Raw for a singles run. So, I don't know how that's going to work. Would you break up the New Day? Do you think Big E is ready for a singles run? Is he going to really succeed at it like Braun Strowman did? I don't know. It's really a hit or miss right now. I don't see it as of yet. I would not break up the New Day. That's just me. Now, it's very possible the bookers can talk Vince into keeping AJ and Braun Strowman on their current shows, which makes the most sense right now. However, again, we have to remember that this is done for a much bigger picture and to set up the next year of storylines. Frankly, if you ask many officials, moving Owens, Rollins, and Finn to SmackDown and Orton, Miz, and Ambrose to Raw from a top standpoint makes the most sense long term. However, not something they are looking at doing. Well, if you're moving Owens, Rollins, and Finn to SmackDown with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura already there, I mean, let me bust a fucking load right now, man. SmackDown is going to be at the top of everybody's fucking list as must-watch show during the week. I mean, that's a fucking internet darling's wet dream right there. Finn versus Naka, Finn versus Styles, Rollins versus Naka, Rollins versus Styles. I mean, Owens versus Nakamura. I mean, the list could go on and on. I mean, you could have a new Radicals there if you want. You know, back in the day when Eddie and Benoit and Mysterio and all those guys were fucking running roughshod over SmackDown, when Paul Heyman was doing the booking over there. That could be done in the modern day with those guys. Will WWE allow that? And will they allow SmackDown to take a lot of Monday Night Raw's thunder? I don't know. They think from a top standpoint it makes sense, but, you know, I don't think that's something that they're willing to do. But that's where we stand right now. You know, I'm trying to think long term here with these plans that they got. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I'm thinking long term with minimal changes right now. I'm thinking long term just based on the moves that you did with the call-ups of Nakamura, the revival, the Hardys being back. I'm thinking long term with those moves, with more rumored moves and more rumored promotions to happen from NXT with Almas and Elias Sampson making a jump. Tag team division and the women's division need to be focused on most. Those are your weakest divisions before WrestleMania. With the Hardys and the Revival coming to Raw, it instantly changes the game on Monday Night Raw. But you got to worry about SmackDown. SmackDown is struggling right now. You got to do something to boost up that tag team division. You got to do something to boost up the women's division. It's getting stale on both brands. It cannot remain the same. You know? You got to get those talents that you're not using utilized in the proper way. That would shake up a lot instead of moving things and making drastic changes. Save the drastic changes for your draft when you actually sit down and come up with a concrete plan. That's my thought on it. All I know is going into this, I don't have high hopes whatsoever. I'm going into Monday with the notion of being disappointed. That's just the way I'm thinking right now. I would not move any of the top now. I'm lying. I would move some of the top names, but not the names that are being rumored right now. The Styles and the Balors. I wouldn't move them. I would not move them at all. You know, but it is what it is, man. WWE, as always, doesn't have solid concrete plans here. Everything was devised on Monday afternoon, right before they went live on Monday Night Raw. It was just thrown out there, yeah, we're having a superstar shakeup. Nothing was thought out. If this was something that they had in mind, it should have been thought out before we actually got to WrestleMania. But now, with them coming up with this, they're putting the WWE writers in limbo. They're having them rush to get shit done before Monday, and it's going to come off, I'm guaranteeing you, it's going to come off as a fucking clusterfuck. It's going to come off as a mess. And we're going to end up being disappointed. We're going to end up being disappointed with something come Monday and Tuesday. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. But those are the moves right now. Again, Styles, Miz, Usos, Mojo Rawley, Bray Wyatt, Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Dean Ambrose. To Monday Night Raw, Owens, Rollins, Gallows and Anderson, Charlotte, Sammy, New Day, and Braun Strowman to SmackDown. Just by those moves alone, SmackDown is getting a lot of fucking key talent. I'm not sure if that's the way to go. I still think, deep down, you got to worry about the tag team in the women's division. That's what you got to worry about with this roster shakeup. Everything else will fall into place. You will be fine for the remainder, for the second half of 2017. Come next year, then you could utilize an entire draft, come up with plans, make it a big fucking deal, and make it like a legitimate MLB or NFL draft. You know, instead of having it fucking 2 hours on SmackDown, and we all are just left with like, what the fuck did we just see? But that's the latest right now. That is the latest from Wrestling News World. Backstage exclusive information on who is moving at this hour with this superstar shakeup come Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. If I hear anything else, I will let you guys know. Thank you for everything. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up and check out the sponsors, man. Patreon.com/JD from NY206 if you guys want to support us content creators in this tough time right now. We are calling YouTube with the loss of ad revenue. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm being hit pretty badly, man. Gotta be honest with you. But that's what the Patreon's for, and I thank each and every one of you for supporting the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/JD from NY206. Barbershop Windows, another great way to support the show and the podcast and the channel. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. And as always, Audible trial. Audible giving you guys 30 days to try their service out free with one free audiobook of your choice. If you guys cancel within the 30 days, you get to keep your audiobook no matter what. AJ Lee's new book is out. Ryback's new book is out. Justin Roberts' new book is out. AJ Lee and Justin Roberts books causing a bunch of controversy, so those might be quality pickups, man. But over 180,000 books to choose from. Make sure you hop on that, man. It's an excellent, excellent way to support this channel and the podcast. I'm JD. Hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys right back here with any more breaking news about this superstar shakeup and anything going on in the WWE. And I'll see you guys right back here for Off the Script tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., part 3 of episode 164. Until then, enjoy your Saturdays, and I will talk to you guys later today. See you later.